Welcome, everybody. It's another exciting edition of the Sports Hole. With me, as always, XFL Jim, Rock and Roll, Matty Goldberg. I'm Luke. Get ready for 2 hours breaking down the NBA All-Star Weekend.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. All about it.
Well,
my hole is ready for the sports that is all the sport that was the NBA All-Star Weekend.
I think
Did you guys watch 1 second of it?
I caught clips of the dunk contest of Mac McClung.
Right. Okay.
Jumped over Ikea. That was awesome.
Yeah. There's nothing better than a white guy just fucking crushing.
They just bring him out for the dunk contest and then send him back to the G League. Yeah,
he's not even in the league.
Well, they're desperate.
Why don't they bring in Brittany Griner?
You know, I watched the All-Star game.
That would be hype.
And I tried to watch a second of it, and I saw Kevin Hart. And I like Kevin Hart. I think Kevin Hart's funny. I think he's enjoyable. But he's doing his whole, like, Shaq this, Shaq sucks. You know, like, playful ribbing, what they like.
Just doing a roast.
And I was like, why would anybody watch this? Like, is this MTV Rock and Jock, or is this the NBA where
it
Larry
would be
Bird
cooler
wanted to be
if it was
Magic
Rock
Johnson?
and Jock, don't you think?
It would be.
The All-Star game back in the day, Larry Bird played Magic Johnson. They wanted to beat each other.
Right.
Like, it was competitive. It was like, we're down to sit and watch a competitive game. This is what they're doing is silly. And I know they're like, we got to make it fun, this, that. People want competition.
But
That's
if they had Larry Bird paired up with Dan Cortez, you would have had triple the views.
Yeah, but
hockey.
I don't think you're ever going to get competition in the back unless the NBA players don't give a shit about it.
They don't. Like Draymond, who is not great, and Kevin Durant both just want to cancel. They're like, this isn't fun. It's not good.
If people don't care, cancel it.
I agree. There must be. I mean,
I think it's like a big. I think it's like a big event for like all the corporate donors and a bunch of like business people of the NBA. It's like one of their big get-togethers.
You know what it feels like? I'll use this
conference.
Yeah, like where a bunch of like people that are probably on the business end of the NBA and teams and whatnot. That's like one of the few times they all probably get together.
When I was in the 7th grade, they would open up my elementary school gym to play basketball on Saturdays. So it's the 7th graders and the 8th graders. We combine, we pick teams, and we play. And for the first month, it was good. It was competitive. It was good. Then a couple of the 8th graders thought it would be fun to lower the rims and get a fucking a thing from because you could get equipment from the gym, one of those springboard things.
Oh yeah.
Trampoline.
And so everybody would just sit there and dunk, and we didn't play anymore. It was just guys that wanted to dunk, and I said, "Fuck this, I'm out of here." Like, so what's become like competitive basketball has kind of turned into like nonsense.
When was the last time an All-Star game would have been competitive?
Probably 20 years ago, 25 years ago.
I mean, even if that, I don't know. I mean, I remember even when I was growing up, like these games, barely anyone played defense except Dennis Rodman. Like you would,
one
you
year
see, like,
they
it'd be like
tried to
130,
shut Shaq
125.
down.
What's that?
When Shaq was in his like 2nd or 3rd year, I remember they D'd up on him like a motherfucker. Like they didn't want him scoring. Like they made an effort to D up on him, and that was fun because they cared. No, now it's just like whatever. It's silly. It's fun. Nobody cares. There's no stakes involved. So it's like it's the equivalent of flag football, and just scrap it. If you're not going to take it seriously, scrap it.
Well, it seems like people get more worked up about how shitty the NBA All-Star game is compared to like how shitty like the NFL Pro Bowl is.
Oh, dude, they're both. I don't watch either of them.
Yeah, they're both off.
I know, but it just sort of seems like people get more, like it seems like nobody just even cares about the Pro Bowl because it's like it's after the season essentially, and you have like people who shouldn't even be a Pro Bowler being in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Well,
at least this year, the dunk contest was at least kind of fun. Mac McClung has like some very entertaining dunks. He's fucking.
Thinking about awesome the Pro Bowl a few years ago. Mac Jones was in a Pro Bowl. I mean, Andy Dalton has like 3 or 4 Pro
Oh, there
Bowls.
was somebody else like in a Pro Bowl even this year that was like, huh?
Yeah,
Because everybody, opts out of these things because they're all
exactly.
injured by the end of the year. Um, but I don't know. Like they keep fucking with this format. They've done like USA versus the world. They've done
Yeah, they don't know what to
um,
do.
I don't know what they can do. Like the players don't give a shit. I don't know what
Well,
they
then
can
just
do.
scrap it.
Maddie,
I
what
don't.
if they did
If
a
you're the
rock and
commissioner,
jock
you go,
kind of
hey, do you guys care? Do you guys want to do this? Would you guys rather have 4 days off and do nothing? Okay, I'm just gonna scrap it.
well, what if they did a rock and jock type? Would you watch that?
No, it's the same crap.
You don't want to see Mark Wahlberg hooping again?
No,
No, they've done the celebrity all star stuff, and that was
no, it's
awful.
crap.
I
It's
like
either
it.
you gotta play to win or you don't. And if they don't want to play to win, they don't want to. They want to get the 4 days off. They want
Maddie
to
would
keep their
watch
guys healthy.
the WNBA versus NBA All Star
They
game.
scrap it. Say, okay, fine, that's it. We're gonna call it off. No harm, no foul.
WNBA versus NBA, but the WNBA rim is lowered.
I think the only way to get this competitive is like fucking you got to pay like
Yeah,
the winners get like if you're on that winning team you get like 5 million each, you
That
know.
would be sick.
That's about probably the minimum it would take for them to care, because
yeah.
they make so much fucking money
But if
doing
they
it.
don't care, just scrap the fucking thing.
But they're absolutely not going to scrap it. It's like Jim was saying, it's probably more like a convention for the industry.
Yeah, yeah.
As
They're
a,
never gonna scratch. And then like probably maybe little kids like it. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know what the ratings are like for it, but like it's the same with the Oscars and the Grammys and all that shit. Like the
Who's it
importance,
for?
right, the importance of these things seems to have like waned a lot ever since in my lifetime, and they still keep doing them because it's just more of a promotional thing. I guess I don't know. I don't know what the total pros are for the NBA to keep doing this year in year out and just be terrible year in year out. But I don't know.
Hey,
Maybe
people
we'll.
are talking about the NBA though.
I'm
Yeah.
not.
You just did, Maddie. You just were.
I was asked.
We haven't even talked about
I want to
NBA
talk about
hardly all
hockey.
season. Yeah.
Hockey,
Now you want to talk
hockey,
about an all-star
hockey,
game,
hockey
Maddie.
ruled the
Talk
weekend.
about this NHL all-star game
It wasn't an all-star
or
game. It
whatever
was
this
a,
thing is.
it
What is
was
going on in the NHL? Or
it was it's 4 nations, and we went to Canada. We got Michelle Kwan came out to introduce us. She got booed off the ice. The national anthem got booed. There wasn't an American in the crowd. It reminded me of Rocky Four, Rocky in the Soviet Union behind enemy territory. First second of the game, you think about guys caring about this. These motherfuckers, 3 fights in the first 30 seconds, dropping the gloves to set the tone. Canada, much more talented to America, but we found the way to win. It was Miracle on Ice too. We got to do it again.
I love the hate. The Four Nations,
It
like
was
the hate
beautiful.
has been awesome.
The
The
hate was
vibes have been
insane.
great.
The booing of us was beautiful. Knowing that they're so much better than us was beautiful, and knowing that we won was beautiful. It put the NBA to shame. The NHL won, hockey won this weekend, and the NBA's got nobody to blame but themselves because they got a lot of star power. And
What could
instead,
they do to compete with that though? They
play
can't
for
drum up the
real.
net. How? Like what's their
Either
reason for
guys
playing for
take
you?
like say, listen, if you're not gonna play, don't fucking show up.
So what would the NBA be playing for? Like these guys are playing for their country.
Yeah,
What would you got to
I
find
can't
something
answer that. It's
equal?
up to the
Maddie, let
guys
me
who
ask you
want.
this. I don't really
Yeah,
watch NHL. Every year
yeah.
I say I'm going
So
to.
many
I still
fights. So
don't.
many
I
fights this
still
weekend.
don't. But are these like these are the all-stars from each country,
Yeah,
right?
and they
Okay.
obviously cared about the game if they're throwing fists in 10
Sure.
seconds.
Is this how does it rank with a normal NHL like all-star game?
The intensity level was insane. The score was two
Right.
to one or 3-1. It wasn't like 8-5. It wasn't 10-7, which all-star games are. It was a tight, heartfelt guys playing for their life, guys that were teammates beating the shit out of each other for their country. It was what sports was all about, and that's why it blew away the NBA, what the NBA put out this weekend. So it's up to the NBA. It's like, hey, you're losing ratings. You can save your sport if in the All-Star game you do play to win. That we do see Steph Curry and LeBron James going up against Jason Tatum and some of those guys, and we do see them like really wanting to win. And if we don't, then like the casual fan like myself, I ain't watching it. And I
Well,
used to watch all the All-Star games as a kid when guys took it seriously, when to be the MVP meant something, when to make the All-Star team meant something. Now it just seems like guys would rather, they want to make the All-Star game for their contract, but they don't want to go. They don't want to play. They'd rather sit home for 4 days. And I don't blame them sometimes.
okay. Who can you thank for the explosive Four Nations competition?
I have no idea. Whoever came up with it was a genius. I
No,
don't
it's
know.
not the competition itself. There's
Yeah,
one person in particular that is fueling this.
I
You
have
think
no
you're
idea.
thinking all El Presidente,
El
LDT,
Presidente, yeah.
LDT, the little
Yeah,
Donald
I
Trump?
mean,
Yeah. The
You
nationalism
got to
has never been high.
start a
yeah, I
freaking
mean that
You have to
helps.
start hate
a
it like
war.
Yeah.
You got to start an actual fucking war if you want sports to be good again.
Oh, you
sports
just got to get guys to want to play for real.
sports need more bad blood.
Yes,
And like USA versus Canada is like a perfect thing going on right now.
yes.
The hate, the booing the anthem is fantastic.
And it was
And
intense, and
how many how
it
many
was great
fights
to
were in
watch.
that game?
There were 3 fights in the first 30 seconds,
It was beautiful.
and you were just like, I was like, wait a minute, they dropping the gloves as soon as the puck dropped. This is beautiful. This is like saying we are playing for real. This is no joke. We're out for fucking blood. We're out to fucking win for our country. And it was a big fucking deal. And then the NBA, you got Kevin Hart. And I love Kevin Hart, but he belongs in the movies and the sitcoms. He doesn't belong like, Shaq, you suck. Your team sucks, blah, blah, blah. You
Yeah,
guys
why
are
don't they just
soft.
get Nikki Glazer to do that?
Yeah, you could get anybody. Get Jeff Ross, get Nikki Glazer, get fucking get Jeff
Soupy
Foxworthy,
Sales. I don't know.
get Brian Dunham or get Jeff Dunham,
Jeff Dunham with the puppets with the
get Jeff
ventriloquism.
Dunham.
Yeah, get him a Shaq life size puppet.
Oh my
It
god!
was I rolled my eyes because I'm like, all right, I'll give the All-Star game a shot. And then the first thing I hear is Kevin Hart. And I'm like, no. Did they turn their All-Star game into this? No. Did they turn it into a DraftKings commercial? No. And they did. It was sad. It was really sad because I'm an old guy and I remember it was like Larry Bird versus Magic Johnson. They're out for
But
fucking
Maddie, this
blood.
is like 30 plus years ago.
I don't care.
That like it's been bad for a long time.
I understand, but you asked me a question.
It's been bad forever, it feels like.
You can fix it.
Jim, back in Maddie's day, it was better.
You can fix it.
That I believe. I do.
I don't
just
think you can fix it, man. It's just like, you
just scare
the
them.
NBA wasn't what it was.
You call up the best players. You go, do you want to play this game for real? Like, do you want to win this game? And if they're like, no, I don't really care that much. You go, okay, I'm going to scrap it.
Okay, but it only works if there's the biggest players. Like if you get down to like, second, bench players.
That's why you scrap it.
But they're never going to scrap it.
They should.
What if I think they should kind of do a similar format, do it like countries, do the top countries, go USA, Australia, Yugoslavia,
France.
not Yugoslavia. Maybe you could do a full Yugoslavia
France
team
is
just
good.
for the old days, and France. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take like the top 4 teams. Winning team gets like 50 million to divvy up. You have 5 players on each team, which means like the USA is going to have all your favorite players. And then like a couple rotation, maybe 1 or 2 people as backups or something.
That would be sick.
Yeah, and then Netflix could pay it. I mean, but like the whole thing would cost so much money. I don't think it would make anybody money though. That's the problem. I just don't know how to give the players the money that would inspire them without sending the production, too high. But
I'm all for scrapping the fuck out of it.
Yeah. Or what if they could fight in this?
I mean, I guess there's money to be made, and I guess it's still a profit. But as far as like content for sports fans, it's unwatchable. I don't know anybody that's like, oh my god, the NBA All Star game was like lit this weekend. Like it was must see. Like, did you see what happened? Nobody cares. No
Yeah.
one even cares about the 3-pointer or the dunk contest.
They could just do like a basketball like basketball con. Like like it's just you do the 3 point contest, all the stupid skills things. You don't really have a game. You just have people there hanging out, get to meet your favorite players maybe. I don't know. But I feel like we're going to be doing the same thing here as long as the show continues each year. So
Mm, you got to be tough. You gotta. I think you can change things if you make high stakes. So if you threaten the players that you're just gonna cancel the game, maybe they'll play.
yeah, I still don't. I mean, they have a hard enough time having effort in the regular season as it is, let alone an exhibition game. So I don't know. All right, we might be done with Aaron Rodgers. He was let go
News
from
Someone
the
will
heard.
grab him
Jets
up. Someone will grab that man up.
I heard the Rams. I heard maybe the Vikings, but I heard the Rams. I heard Stafford maybe to the Giants.
for what?
Well, he can leave, I think.
Yeah, I think he can leave. I don't think
Oh,
he's
is he a
a
free
yeah,
I
he's a
heard
agent?
he's
he's a
not.
free agent this year.
Yes,
Oh,
I heard him to the Giants, and then Rodgers to the Rams, maybe.
well, Kelly Stafford is not going to be happy about that.
No, she won't like leaving LA.
Yeah, she's got a home in Los Angeles,
I
California.
for just hilarious reasons I think Aaron Rodgers should go to the Vikings.
Just
Just
like
just
Brett
complete it.
Favre.
Just complete it.
It's
Just complete the whole
actually
thing.
a possibility. I mean,
It is.
I think he's sort of gone. He might have gone a little too far with his eccentricities in the last couple of years, where people are like, okay, whatever value he might have as a player is just not worth it
Well,
anymore.
it's also he seems to kill teams. Like
Yeah,
the Jets, he goes to the Jets, their coach gets fired, their interim coach gets fired. It's a complete shit show at the end. And yet I still want him on the Jets. But I think it might be hard for a first year coach because as a first year coach, you need to establish that you're the boss. And it's really hard with Aaron because
yeah.
he likes to be the boss too.
No, and they like. I guess a lot of the team actually didn't want him back either.
Yeah, that's the word.
That's the word. So I don't
The
know. I
other
mean,
rumor was
yeah.
Aaron Glenn said you can't do the Pat McAfee show.
Oh, really?
That's a rumor.
Oh, well,
And I
I mean,
kind of get it.
yeah. I wonder if Pat McAfee would even care to have Aaron Rodgers on if he wasn't
He,
playing.
maybe.
The
I mean,
thing
I
what
don't
I
know. I've never heard
understand
him on
with
the
that,
show. Does he just talk about his games each week,
Put
or what
him,
does he
put
talk
him,
about?
put him in a little library next to AJ Hawk, and then they could both just not talk the
the
entire
thing I
show.
kind of understand why I understand that is
Just puff a
because
cigar.
Yeah,
the Pat McAfee interviews are a lot different than the interviews you get from the regular press. So Aaron Rodgers says a lot different stuff than his teammates would, that the coaches would. So it's like you kind of want to be held accountable with the rest of your team and your coaches. So to do this other format, it's not very team oriented. I know that sounds a little anal, but I kind of see what the Jets are thinking there now. Like we can't have this guy just coming up with answers on his own that are like outside the room, outside the machine of the Jets.
I mean, I agree with that. Like, if it's going to be a distraction because you're
Yeah.
talking about vaccines or 9/11
Or just other
conspiracies,
stuff about the
like,
league. And it's like, well, why don't you just do these interviews like we all do? Like after games, we all have to sit up there and answer questions.
yeah.
Before games, the press has the right to talk to you and you have to answer these questions. You just can't be like, hey, I'm only talking to Pat McAfee.
yeah. Be the
Well,
exclusive McAfee guy.
He doesn't make it easy, Aaron Rodgers. He really doesn't.
No, it's too bad.
When was the
I mean,
last time we've seen him? Like, was he like he had a couple moments with the Jets, right? Like a
Yeah, to
few.
me, yeah, his the season was good. He had a very good season, and they lost like 4 or 5 games by like a score that could have gone the other way, and they could have been maybe a playoff team with all those wins. But he didn't play bad, especially coming off a major injury. It's just like, okay, he's there. Coach gets fired. Team is a mess. The team hates each other. Does the quarterback bring everybody together, or is he pulling everybody apart?
Yeah, I think
And,
Aaron Rodgers is like a locker room cancer.
and that's the one they're saying. I always bring up Brady, but Brady doesn't have the talent that Rodgers has. But Brady was always able to get the locker room together. And Aaron Rodgers, for some reason, even though a lot of guys say he's a great teammate and he's got a lot of friends, it just doesn't work somehow. For some reason, whatever he doesn't push the right buttons all the time.
yeah, a lot of the teammates apparently it's like he's above them is sort of one of the comments
Well, that
you
is the
hear about
problem
that.
because and that's like the Pat McAfee thing.
Yeah.
It's like they don't have a like if anybody did an hour interview with like a show like that, a coach would have a problem with it.
Yeah. So this somebody was people were rumoring into the Steelers
Yeah.
and Steelers safety Deshaun
I
Elliott
saw this.
put it on Instagram saying to leave his ass at the retirement home.
That's not very nice. I heard another name going to Pittsburgh,
Who's that?
Trevor Lawrence.
Well,
I heard
there.
another one, Maddie.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones.
Well, I mean, you can leave Daniel Jones' ass anywhere and go 5-12. Danny Dimes.
I
Danny
think. I think.
Dimes,
I think.
baby.
I think the Steelers could get a winning season out of Danny Dimes.
What about Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, obviously. What would they have to trade for him though?
It's wild that Jacksonville's already moving away from.
They're denying that they're thinking of shopping him. They're like saying no fucking way.
I do wish them well because the coach with the Duval, I love him.
Yeah.
Love
And
him.
everybody's like, oh, he's gonna suck. I hope he's the best coach of all time.
he's an, yeah, he's an interesting looking fella.
Duval.
Looks like he'd be like a trashy cousin of Abraham
Yeah,
Lincoln or
what that
something,
sounds
right?
like? It sounds like you can't get your dick hard, and then you
Yeah,
take like a gasoline dick pill.
yeah.
And the lady, you're like, you finally get it hard, and her name is Duval, and you're like, Duval.
Oh, you've thought about that a lot.
Well, Jim knows. He
I
gets
know.
yes.
I know
He,
what Maddie's saying.
he gets the
It's
dick. He gets the gasoline pills.
Yeah.
if yeah. Maddie, fun thing.
Wait,
So
you're
for
talking about the
what?
gas station pills that are
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
counter? You've actually tried those?
yeah. Like 3 times.
Do they
Yeah,
work?
sure.
So
3,000.
really, what usually just ends up happening is you kind of feel like you're having a mini heart attack. Like my heart just started
So it's
beating
just a
like
bunch of
super
caffeine or
fast.
something.
One of them definitely was. I think it's like similar to like remember back in the day. I think when Viagra first came out, it was like a heart medication,
Yeah, I heard people are getting heart attacks.
and it would just like it made me feel like my heart was beating super fast. It was weird. It was a weird feeling. Like I got a boner for one of them,
Well, I would
but
hope
like
so.
I don't know if it would have been like any different if I didn't have one.
Well,
But I
were
just
you?
felt very
Yeah,
stressed out. I
Did you
just
get
felt
a
like very
did
stressed.
you get a
yeah. You're
Duvall
still a
boner?
young man. You should.
Jim,
I
did
just
you
wanted.
get
I
a
just wanted to try them.
Yeah,
did
no.
you get a Duvall boner is the question.
Yeah.
I did. Oh,
Were
I
there
don't know if
extra bricks in there?
it was pretty hard. I think it stayed up, so maybe that's the whole Duvall thing. Maybe
Have
once
you
he
ever
maybe once he finishes the season, maybe once he still stays up. Maybe when he gets knocked down, he gets right back up.
have you ever looked at your lady in the middle of the night and just wink at her and go, Duvall?
Duval. I have Maddie after his announcement. Yeah,
Listen, Jim, if your dick
he opened my eyes.
didn't look
Yeah.
like Sylvester Stallone's arms, then it wasn't hard enough.
No.
You need to have veins ripping right out of there.
When my dick itself is sweating, I think I'm in a good spot.
Yeah.
When I
And
was
then
younger, I
did
used
it
to
wipe its own forehead?
this is
It
what I
got the
used
towel out and
Yeah.
everything.
this is what I used to do when I was younger.
Yeah.
It's like a switch.
Yeah.
It's like a switch.
That's
Pull
it.
my hat on. See, it's like a switch.
That's how you
I
crushed all
like
that
it.
puss.
That's my Oscar clip.
I like it.
That was really
They should
good,
just
man.
show that for the Oscars. Like, just open it up, like Godfather. Like, I'm not smart. I can run things, and then it's like a switch. Winner
Some
takes it all.
loser takes
Winner
the
takes.
fall.
Wait, what? Real quick, wrestling. I'm making a prediction because we're doing Dark Side of the Ring again.
Well,
So
that's a
rumors
month
that
away
Vince
still.
Vince McMahon is putting together a roster. The man might be canceled. Man might be a disgusting deviant pervert. He might say, "Come out, you rapist." But I guarantee this: when he gets his roster and he gets his company, he will be number one. I don't know why. He is the best at what he does.
You don't
Whether
think he's lost a step in his age?
hell no. Whether he's a piece of garbage and guys like him, this is like incentive to be number one. So look out, wrestling. You'll see. I know this is bad because everybody wants him to go away, but he will be number one again.
Come on out, you rapist!
There you go. But he's putting together a roster, is a word. He's a lot
Put
like
together a
he is?
team of real American heroes.
You know who he's like? He's like Paul Brown. You know the story of Paul Brown?
the Browns,
Paul
the
Brown
Bengals
created the
founder?
Browns.
Yeah,
They kicked him out. You know what he invented?
the Bengals.
Exactly.
Yeah. Two legendary franchises.
Exactly.
Now,
He's
did you ever watch MacGruber?
I love that movie.
Oh yeah.
I'm picturing Vince McMahon showing up to places like I'm putting together a team of real American heroes.
Yeah, they all die.
Yeah. No, 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 no.
I used to like when I saw the thing where he would put the thing in his butt.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I was like, this is so dumb. And then you watch it like the second time, and you're like, this is actually really funny.
Oh, I love that movie. That's like that's like a real easy watch for me. Fucking love it. Oh boy. Speaking of putting things in the butt, Justin Tucker,
Hey,
boy.
Seven
not having a
more.
great time.
7 more allegations of
What's that
asking
bringing up
for-
to now? Like 14?
I think 16.
16?
I don't know. He's catching up with Deshaun.
Yeah.
I mean, like we have Mahomes approaching Brady real, quicker than we thought, and now we got Tucker approaching Watson's record quicker than we
I
thought.
wonder when he saw that.
Dude, the fucking DeJean in the Super Bowl, Tucker here. It's white boy summer.
Yeah.
It's gonna be white boy summer.
Yeah, white boy's
Yeah,
taking
Cooper
over,
DeJean
yo.
Cooper DeJean is living his best life, let me tell you.
God damn.
As
It's
a
like, if you're
22-year-old
like a
guy, he's
talented
a
guy and you
good-looking
rip
kid.
your knee up before leaving college, the Eagles are going to get you. That's just what
Well,
it is.
he's a good
And
player,
then you're gonna be the player you always thought you were going to be.
Is he the only white cornerback in the NFL?
I thought I
Or is
saw
he a
one
safety?
more. I think there's
No, he's a cornerback. He's a cornerback. He's sort of like he's a nickelback, really.
Okay. He can play.
He's
I
like
mean,
in between a cornerback and a linebacker. He put on some weight, but like Justin Tucker like done? Like
the
They
Ravens
haven't
haven't
said-
done anything yet. I think he declined in play a lot, and this is an easy decision for them, and they should just go
especially
ahead
at a
and
bad year. But
fucking pull the trigger and try to pretend
Yeah.
like they're good guys.
I think they knew about it, and I think he knew these articles were coming out. That's why he went a month where he couldn't kick an extra point. And you're like, what happened? Because you can lose it, but not like extra points in a year. And then it becomes mental. And I don't know. I think like mentally he was completely off. And yeah, it's pretty surprising. Like you never know who's gonna get caught doing all this stuff. And I don't know anything about him except he's like a weird guy.
I
So
thought he was supposed to be like a beloved community member at some point.
he was supposed to be, I
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah. But now that's not the case anymore. Oh boy.
He's gotta be done.
I would assume. I mean,
Gotta be.
they
They'll
gotta
probably
do
cut
something
him.
quick too, otherwise they're gonna look bad.
They'll probably cut him. He can get suspended for a year, and then it's up to him if he wants to come back. But like coming back, You're just asking for every place you go to. Like every time you step on the field, you got to hear about it. Like, do you want to live that way? It's crazy.
I mean, Deshaun Watson did it, but I mean, he's getting paid through the roof. So,
Yeah, but I don't think like it's weird. Guys like that, they don't even give a shit. It's like they just let it go off their back, you
but
know?
he doesn't. I mean, I contribute that to his play being so terrible.
True.
I mean, it's one thing, he might not comment on it and say anything about it, but
Yeah.
it's definitely affecting
Yeah,
him for
you're probably
sure.
right.
um, oh, I got a blast from the past here. Jim, your favorite Miami Dolphin is back.
Saw this. I saw this news.
Yeah.
Jonathan Martin.
Yeah, I got a poster of him somewhere in my
He
back
was
room.
bullied. He's a fucking 350-pound guy that was bullied
Yeah.
by Richie Incognito and the Pouncey brothers or whatever.
Sounds like it was mostly his mom putting this out.
That's okay. So what's going on is Jonathan Martin, who was famous for, um, you know, having these grievances with the league against Richie Incognito, accusing him of bullying him in the locker room, which was definitely very excessive. But who knows? I mean, these people. I mean, it's kind of a rookie hazing and stuff situation too. I think on some levels, but it was pretty stuff I can't even really repeat on air here. But it was the first, it was a big thing because it was a football player, a giant football player, complaining about being bullied. And then he kind of slowly went crazy and posted pictures on Instagram of a gun, sort of insinuating, threatening people and whatnot. It was his life just became a shit show,
Yeah, it did.
basically.
Yeah, it did.
And I don't know how good of a player he was, like coming into the league.
He was very highly
He was,
touted,
yeah, he was like a pretty like.
pretty
I
high
mean, we'll
draft.
never know, but he was high. He was pretty highly touted coming in for the Dolphins and everything.
So yeah, there was a new featured article with him, or a new article featured with him, and he's basically walking back his the bullying claims, claiming that it was mostly done by his mother, and then it sort of spiraled out of control.
He
But
said he's not really in much contact with her anymore.
Oh, really? Just
Yeah, like he's kind of like it kind of like her going out and all that kind of like put a gap in their relationship.
Wow. So, guess what he's doing now? And guess why he's back doing interviews?
That I didn't see.
So he's like a
He's
crypto
gonna have
bro
to.
now.
Oh, he's gonna rug pull people. There we go.
Yes.
He's gonna rug pull people.
Yes. So he's like giving TED Talks on Bitcoin and things like that. And
Oh, I can't hear a word you're saying.
can you hear me now, Maddie?
Yeah, it's just this doggy.
Well, that's not my fucking problem. What are you?
My nephew is outside my door, so
Get some headphones, Maddie. Come on. All right. So yeah, and a lot of people are speculating that basically he's walking back the bullying stuff because he's trying to appear more alpha and more, to be like one of these crypto guys. Like
Gotta get ready to scam people.
like imagine like he's like hitting this Grant Cardone.
that's not a good
level
way to
of-
like not to have people trust you. Like, hey, I lied in the past. Trust me.
You'll get the people that'll spend money on crypto to trust him.
Like, hey, I ruined this guy's life, turned him into a monster, and destroyed him.
Did he really ruin his life? Didn't he play for years after that?
Yeah, well, he almost didn't.
Was his life
he
almost
got-
ruined?
He got
Or was it
suspended
ruined?
for 8 games. He got his reputation totally destroyed. Now is Richie Incognito a big football player that's probably reckless and does crazy shit? Yeah, but that's what they do. It's like there is hazing. Tom Brady was hazed really hard when he was the first few years. These guys get hazed really fucking hard. It's like it's just part of the game.
I do think Richie Incognito is probably a piece of shit to an extent.
His best friend was Jonathan Martin.
His best friend was Jonathan Martin.
Jonathan Martin's best friend on the team was Richie Incognito.
Yeah,
He,
I'm
Yeah,
just
that was like
I'm
a
not
thing
he
too.
threw him
Yeah.
under the bus because he was a bust.
Oh yeah. That I agree with 100%.
And that's
Um
fucked up.
yeah, I don't think either of these guys are like probably great people.
When you hear the answer machine, like buy me a fucking jet ski, that's what rookies do. They buy veterans a jet ski, and it's like he gets a jet ski bought from him by a rookie. It's they pass it forward. I gotta drop this doggy off.
All right. Well, I got one for Jim while Maddie tends to business.
Oh, is this the one you sent today?
What do you mean what I sent today? I
You
sent
sent us
this.
you texted us another video that we had oh, okay.
No.
Okay, okay.
Oh, but this one is related to that
That's what
video.
I saw like the title you had in the rundown. I was like, is it that video?
No, this is a football player. He's a 5-star wide receiver,
What's that
and his
again?
name is Booby Feaster.
It's a great name. It's a great name.
Like Booby Miles.
I am
No, because he feasts on boobies.
I am pro any like Boogie, Booby, anything like that as a first name. Kills it. The fact that it's like K State extends the offer, I feel like someone named Booby Feaster should be playing in the SEC or Texas.
I mean, but do you think it's cool that is like
It's amazing.
Feaster?
Feaster is a fantastic one. Um, this
What
is
if he's not a tip man though?
he could be an ass man. This is
What if
probably
he
one
changed
of
his
the
name to Ass Feaster?
what if they call it or his first name to Booty?
What if he was gay and they changed his
Oh,
name to Cock Feaster?
true. True. I like that. This is probably the top 3 college name. Like this is right by General Booty.
Oh, there was a General Booty.
I think he played for Arkansas. There was a General Booty. This is up there. Booby Feaster's up there as far as names go.
It's pretty spectacular.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember where did General Booty play for?
General Booty.
Oh, sorry, he went to ULM.
Oh, really?
Oh, he's on ULM right now. He went to Oklahoma and now he's on ULM.
Oh, man.
Hell yeah, love General Booty.
I remember when we first started this podcast, my favorite name was Stone Labanowitz.
Stone, hey, Southern Illinois. I think he does like content now.
Yeah, I think I don't know. Like I really wanted to. I dropped the ball on that. I wanted to do a Stone report every week and call it the Stone Zone.
I Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does like just content, and I think he does stuff for just like the FCS level of football.
Hmm,
I think he covers stuff for that.
gotcha. Did you hear Kyrie Irving wants to play for Australia? Australia, mate, in the Olympics.
Does he have dual
He
citizenship?
does. He was actually born there. I think his father played basketball there. When he was
Ah,
good eye, mate. But it's such a Kyrie thing to do. Like,
definitely is.
all right, Maddie, get over here. Let's wrap up the show with this gambling talk. First of all, I want to start with
Booby Feaster's so
a
good.
weird Terry Rozier. They're sort of accusing him of tanking, and basically it was Michael Porter Jr.'s brother. I think it's Jonte Murray. Is that what it is? I'm not sure what it is, but the one that got busted on the Raptors for tanking his stat lines for a betting circle. And now Terry Rozier is kind of being accused of the same thing because he was like started out lighting up the game and then he just sort of took himself out of the game without a visible limp or anything when he was blaming it on his foot. So a lot of people were like going, "Oh, no way!" And it was apparently there's a agency, a government agency that will flag suspicious bets, like when a lot of people start getting particular bets, a lot of money being laid on somebody or some stat that normally wouldn't be bet on a whole ton, and this was one of them. But the thing is, then he ended up not playing the rest of the season with a foot injury. So either it's like he's innocent or he faked a foot injury for the whole season to try and throw off the cops.
I kind of hope it's him trying to throw off the cops. That'd
I
make for
know,
an
right?
awesome
I'm just
story.
gonna sit out. I don't want to risk it. I gotta play this thing.
I
Um,
I hope that's it. Also, why don't these guys ever use like offshore books?
I don't know. Um, you're right. They probably
Because like
should.
those offshore books will take a ton of money.
Yeah,
So I don't understand why would you try to use an offshore book?
that's a good that's a good argument. Also, though, one thing was that apparently there were rumors that he had foot injuries before, and that they're saying that the Hornets, who he was playing on for that one game, did not report the injury, and that's why the NBA is really strict with teams. They want them to absolutely report any injuries a player has, so this kind of shit doesn't get speculated on. Um, one of these prop bets. Do you guys ever bet like individual player lines, like during regular season and whatnot?
NFL way more so. NBA, I kind of do like I'll get on Underdog or Prize Picks and do
Yeah.
like their little like parlays and stuff like that, but that's
Yeah.
about it. Sometimes I do, but usually I have to tail people because I don't follow the NBA for shit.
Right. Okay. Um, Maddie, do you ever bet on like individual
Sometimes,
stats
but not a
during the regular
lot.
season? What's
Sometimes,
that?
not like the full season, but a game, yeah, sure.
Once in a while.
Yeah, a
Okay.
game I'll do. Not like a full season though.
Um, so I sent you guys that video I wanted to watch because
Yeah.
I'm not a sports gambler. You guys are, and that's one of the reasons why.
I just thought it was silly. I thought like
Well,
these
hold on. I got to give
yeah,
context to what this
sure.
video was, and um, so what it basically was saying the what it boiled down to is this guy saying that sports betting is not about like knowing the teams and the players and who plays well on grass and all a lot of stuff people really like to get into when they're debating sports gambling. He's saying that it's basically about uh, betting prices. Like you have to just know what are the good odds and what aren't. And they call it expected value. Do you guys ever participate in something like that?
Not really.
I
Okay.
mean I have like 4 to 5 different books that I use.
Uh-huh.
But
So obviously you shop around for the best line and things like that. I use it a little bit. To use it to the level that you would need to be like a pro,
Mm-hmm.
he's right. You need to like sign up for the services like Don Boss or Spank Bets and stuff like that give you like live up to the second like odd movements and
Uh-huh.
line movements, which those like you said 75 to 100 a month. If you're betting thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars, that makes sense to
Right.
subscribe and you're going to like have the best edge. For someone like me that bets like I bet $20, $30.
Uh-huh. I mean,
Sometimes
do you
like
keep a ledger of your wins and
I
losses?
I keep a spreadsheet. I need to update it, but I do keep a spreadsheet month to month of like what bets I make, how I do per sport. Um, and then I use services that like let me find the best line, but I don't have I don't have any of the legal books, so it's not easy for me to just deposit money to books and like take it back out and like go to this book, go to that book.
Okay.
I have to let my money sit for a little bit in the books, but I got 3 or 4 that I use.
Mm-hmm.
And from everything that I've seen, and I've only been in the space for like 4 years,
Sure.
for everything that I've seen, to be like an actual professional sports bettor, who that is how you make your money. It's all about the line movement. It's all about finding the best line. It's all about
Right.
arbitrage. It's all that is like correct from what I've seen.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be like a pro,
So, Maddie, you watched the video. You got kind of hung up on the bonus stuff or something,
well,
the promotional
what
things
I
that.
what I saw in the video from what I could see was it's one of those cats. It's like, hey, you can beat the system, and you can't. How many people say like, oh, if you do this with craps, you'll make $200 an hour guaranteed. If that was the case, everybody would be doing it all the time. Sports gambling is like 50%. It's something you do because you love the action. It brings more excitement to the game and because you have the money to. Now, the first example he used was so dumb because he used this thing of like, hey, like these companies give you a bonus, like they want to give you a bonus. So if you sign up to like my bookie, they'll say every $500 you bet, we'll match it, but you got to roll it over. So it's like annoying. But what he's saying is, if you bet both sides equally, you'll win like $250 right there. Guess what? You can't do that. Every website tells you if you get caught doing that, you're going to lose everything. So, like, how do you make a video where you don't even fucking know the rules and you don't even know that in the fine
Okay,
print they'll
Maddie.
take
All
all
right,
your money?
let's just get rid of your bonus part. I'm just talking about basically the
I
EV
understand, but
parlays.
that
Yeah,
was the
yeah, yeah.
first example he made.
I don't know enough to talk. I
It's
mean,
if they do
Jim,
catch you like
yeah.
if they catch you like
Betting
plus
both sides
yeah,
with a bonus.
if they catch you not even just with the bonus, but if they catch you being like look like getting the best line or like if they post a bad line and then you get it before they switch it back and stuff like that,
Yeah.
or if you're consistently getting the better number, they
Right.
do limit you, they do ban you. That's what these books all do.
And they will take your money. So this guy acting like he's got a foolproof system where he's giving you advice to make you lose your money
I
and gives
never
you
thought he
free
was giving
No,
advice.
Maddie, did you watch it?
I
He did
never felt like
not.
he was
He
giving
just
advice.
Okay.
he really summed it up at the end. He's like, you can lose, like, and you can you'll lose. I don't believe in the, like
Yeah.
you could conceivably make money doing offshore. He was concerned that with that people are going to do this
Yeah.
regardless, and that people will be pushed to offshore um, gambling because
Sure.
the mainstream ones here will just start limiting you if you're winning like that. So basically saying like if you're winning a lot all consistently, you're just going to get minimized bets essentially. Like, yeah.
And that does
I don't know.
happen.
But
That
I think
happens.
the way he was trying to present it, though, and I was telling Maddie, I watched an advantage player in blackjack too. It was the same kind of thing. It's not like you're going to win $200 an hour. It's more like you just find the value in the bets, and then it's just a matter of attrition. You just keep grinding at it. You do like, and then you're hoping for a 5% win, which doesn't sound like much, but if you're betting $100,000, well, I guess that would be a five, like you'd win like $5,000 or something. Like you have to actually spend a lot of money to make a lot of money to do this because the odds are only going to be that much more. So even with an expected value or whatever, it's only going to be like 5% or something like that, you know, over time. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
they say like professional gamblers expect to win at like what, like a 54 to
55%.
56%.
Yeah.
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 So
Right. So
you're
that's like out of 100 hands of blackjack, you're losing like, 44 times or something, like that's it's not just like ding ding ding. I've watched a lot of these like scamming Vegas videos, and when they find out these systems, they still oftentimes they have to go in the hole for like months before they see the payout of
Yeah.
these things because it is just a matter of the odds sort of coming into your favor, whether it's sooner or later, they will. That's the
it's
idea
all
behind it.
about I mean the only issue with doing on that is you have to find what like the real value is and what the books are pricing it as. So like
Yeah,
if you have an event saying like this last Super Bowl was Chiefs minus 1.5. What are the odds that the Chiefs win by minus 1.5? What are the odds the Eagles actually win? Are these priced correctly? Da da
right.
da da da. What do these odds mean? It's a whole bunch of stuff like that. And then
Yeah,
because I watched a little documentary on a guy who does who like bet sports professionally, and the issue that they always run into is getting enough people to actually make the bets for them because they're getting limited because they're getting banned. It's just like when a casino won't let you play blackjack anymore.
right. Yeah, because you're counting cards and you're stacking the system. I never understood like if you went to Vegas, right, and then you were able to, yeah, I would just bounce from casino to casino and then try to win like $1,000 a night,
The
and that's
problem
it.
is only three companies own casinos. So or have
Yeah,
so like you get banned from MGM, you get banned by a half of the casinos in Vegas.
Right, but I don't know if they're going like unless you're really pushing it to a really big level where you're really making a lot of like where it's thousands of dollars a night.
That I don't know because I've heard of like sports bettors being like, oh, if they see that you're consistently getting on the better side of the number consistently, even if you're betting not like if you're betting like a couple hundred, they'll
Right.
still limit you.
Ah, yeah. The house always wins. That's the bottom line.
That is true.
But it's funny though that this way of looking at sports gambling I find much more intriguing because I'm like, oh, it's
It's
just more like a math problem than it is of just
it's way
hoping somebody
more.
performs the way you want them to
You
perform.
want to be if you want me to be honest, that's
Yeah.
kind of I kind of look at college basketball that way.
Really?
Or
Okay.
I don't give a shit about like I love watching the game. Obviously, it's fun, it's
Yeah.
entertaining. I don't look up almost any college basketball stats. I'm really just looking at line movement for it.
But you know
All
what?
right.
I won a game this weekend. I had Auburn, Alabama over 173. Both teams scored a lot of points, and it was like 152 with like 5 minutes to go. And I was on the phone with a guy who he likes sports, but he doesn't really gamble. I told him what I had, and I said I was going to win. And he goes, usually they score, and college teams every 4 minutes score on average 12 to 16 points. And he's like, well, you're going to lose. I'm like, no, I'm going to win. I'm going to win easy because I understand the idea of like what the score needs to be for me to win. In that case, if Auburn's up by 20, I lose because they put the bench in, they slow the game down, and there's a lot less possessions. Because it was only like a 6 or 8 point game, everyone was going to foul and they were going to go fast. And I think it got to like 180. So, like, sports gambling, like, from gambling a lot, like scenarios where you're in good shape or where you're in bad shape. And that's where live betting comes in. But for the most part, sports gambling is 50%, and you do it because you have fun with it. Anybody who says like they're making all this money are liars. And the guys that sell picks, they're just the best telemarketers.
The guys that sell picks are scumbags and they're
They're just
awful.
telemarketers. They're
We
just
had-
Yeah.
I
they're
used to
just
get one of these, syndicated shows that would play on our sports network when I lived in LA. I'd get up at like 6 to go into work on like a Sunday morning or something. And it's like, oh yeah, like, oh no, Jimmy Clausen's going to come in and light it up today. He always plays good against like it's just like, and then it's like, call this number. I got the best pick you'll ever have. It's a number
80,
one lock.
84-4.
Right. And then
88.
you have to pay some exorbitant fee for their
35-5 in my last 40 Monday night games.
Yeah, that's what I was seeing from somebody. Is like obviously to make money sports betting, you have to hit 55%. If you're paying for picks, you have to hit it like 62%.
And when these guys do their picks, like what's amazing about them is like before the Super Bowl, a guy would be like, I got the Super Bowl pick. I have the winner. Like I have it. And they're so convincing in how they say it. I see how they can sell it because they make you believe that they really have the winner.
Oh, they're fantastic salesmen. I mean, they
Yeah.
just don't stop either.
No.
And they just sound like the best salesman ever. They're just going to be loud. It's like, come on down to the shoe carnival. It's just like same kind of vibes.
The real
Jim, by the way, that other video I sent you was topless boxing.
Yes, I did watch that.
Okay.
I watched.
Yes.
I pulled that one open at work today. So
Yeah, I have friends send me worse shit that I sadly open up at work too, and I was not expecting. But
the real professional bettors, you really don't hear about much because they don't want to be found.
I could see that. That guy that won all this Jeopardy was
You know what it's like?
he was a sports bettor.
Yeah, he
guy
was.
who
I think it was
Yeah, he
just a
was.
statistics thing. Like
Yeah.
he did
gets-
that.
a guy
It's
who
not-
gets laid a lot never tells you he gets laid a lot.
yeah.
A guy who says he gets laid a lot probably doesn't. It's just like sports betting. If you're crushing sports betting, you're probably keeping it on the down low.
Yeah, it's not a thing to brag about.
No.
Unless you're Dave Portnoy and then you just got fuck you money. So it's just
Yeah.
like
But he
having fun.
just talks about losing all the time.
Right. And it's part of it. It just is still content for him too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the other angle of that.
He understands when he loses, he wins.
Yeah. Remember that? It's like that Houston guy that
Mattress
bet
Mac, baby.
Mattress Mac that like either way, if he won the bet, he made a bunch of money. If he lost the bet, he's got a bunch of advertisement for his store. So, one of those things. All right, guys, I got to cruise. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll see y'all next week for another exciting edition of the Sports Hole.
Sports Hole!